There are lots of lists for items to stock up on in case SHTF and you need to trade. From the Western, especially the American perspective, SHTF trading is heavily focused on a total collapse of every last system in place. Our pop culture reflects this.
Your future may not be as secure as you think. Where will you be when the atomic bombs fall?
Unless it's a true worldwide extinction level event like a super asteroid or alien invasion focused on extermination, based on refugees' experiences as well as extreme third world level poverty, I would like to highlight 3 things you would need to have on hand and be ready to trade with. That would most likely work in most areas of the globe. I did say the top 3 things, but I didn't say that holding on to your supplies or defending them would be easy or even possible either, so keep that in consideration depending on your expected situation. This not only means stored food and water, but this would also include seeds, water purification items, even livestock. Livestock is obviously a very hard thing to keep under wraps, but most backyards could support keeping a small number of chickens for eggs. Of course, that's all up to your city ordinance and all that good stuff.
Oh, nah, I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen nothing. Matter of fact, I'm blind in my left eye.
If we get into growing food, the situation is complicated and needs more specific expansion. There are lots of gardening, homesteading, farming, animal husbandry videos out there. I just want to get you thinking about a long-term alternative measure rather than stockpiling what you can buy immediately. For instance, strive for both types of prep and sustainment options. That's ideal, however lots of people live in urban environments and can't grow an acre worth of food in an apartment. I get that. This is where the connection building comes into play. Think outside of the box. The same applies to storing water. If you're in a crowded area, you can bet at least a dozen or more people have the same idea you have, so plan on having backup sources of water. It's great if you can store water in 55-gallon food-grade drums along with cases of water. When it comes to long-term water acquisition, ceramic water filters are a good bet to store. Be aware these remove sediment, and while bugs may be killed through boiling for 10 minutes, other measures may be needed to remove chemicals. Even then, it depends on the type of chemical. You may find yourself in a situation where even if the water is purified, it would still be contaminated. Think local pesticides, herbicides, and industrial waste. It may not be an issue for you, but this is where understanding your area comes into play. I don't think anyone is rushing to sample rainwater collected from Chernobyl unless you could filter out radionuclides. If you can do that, you have government-level money and resources. There are 2 distinct types of alcohol you should keep on hand: medicinal and drinking. Ideally, you should have both, but the world is far from an ideal place. Let's go over some important numbers to remember. For alcohol to be an effective disinfectant, it should be between 70% to 95% alcohol by volume, so a bottle of Jack isn't going to cut it. You need to find an alcohol between 140 to 190 proof. Whatever the proof is on the bottle, chop that number in half and you get the percentage of alcohol by volume. As a side note for flammability, 80 proof vodka, which is 40% alcohol by volume, may light into a little blue flame, but it won't be around for long. Alcohol needs to be 100 proof or 50% by volume for it to be able to be a consistent fuel source. That leaves you with nice things like Everclear. Bacardi stopped making 151 a while back, but successors live on because we all have popular drinks that featured the stuff, and people aren't likely to give it up. When it comes to trading, keep in mind, you don't want to show that you're potentially loaded and a source to be exploited, so grab as many regular drinks and mineral spirits in those convenient little shot bottles. They don't weigh much or take up much space, but they can work in a pinch, with the benefit that no one will know how many you may actually have. They are excellent at creating an opportunity to build rapport and possibly tease out some information over the course of a conversation. Know the favorite drinks of choice in your area, but remember the proper strengths for using it as a disinfectant. Also be aware if you start to get into homesteading, lots of them use alcohol, especially high-grade alcohol, to preserve food. It's a very valuable resource to have on hand. This is where you can trim a lot of fat off of many lists. There's a reason I didn't include super specific things like medical equipment, tradesman tools and repair parts, or weapons. Many medical items require training, and in true emergencies, if you're trained on this equipment, you're going to be better off holding onto it for you or your group. The same goes for tradesman tools and spare parts. With weapons and things like ammunition, I want to ask you, do you want to potentially arm another group of people that may use those same items against you? What would the alternative for these items be? These fall under specialty items and skills. The key word here is skills. Offer to repair other people's things in exchange for other goods. Offer your medical services and be known for it. You'll be extremely valuable as a skilled individual or group to a wide array of people, rather than being known as a one-stop target to refill supplies that can be taken advantage of either through manipulation or force. Whatever dominant skill you or your group possess, lean into that. Even negotiation and personability is a skill that the ancients recognized as useful. And there's a difference between being a hard target and a threat. Don't be completely toothless, but don't be a loot drop either. Have a specialty that makes you valuable and versatile. Notice I didn't talk about the obvious forms of money and valuables. There's more nuance to that, and in this case, I hope I got you thinking about trade, self-sufficiency, and becoming a valuable asset, because that's what all of this boils down to. What Americans call surviving or prepping is what many people worldwide do by default. Knowing and understanding the needs of your area, your neighborhood, the city you live in, the region that you're in, those are going to determine what skills and what goods you should emphasize in your preps. I hope that no matter where you're at, you think about food and water, you think about alcohol, and you think about specialty items and the skills that go with them. I do like putting out information like this to get the mind going. I also do some gear reviews on occasion. If you like how I put the information out there, leave a like, subscribe, or if you want to tell me that I'm right or wrong, you can always leave a comment. So until the next video, be good, stay safe, and have a good one.